Most people think their physique looks average because their arms aren't big enough or their chest isn't wide enough. But there's one muscle almost everyone ignores that can completely change how powerful their body looks: the neck. You can train chest, back, shoulders, arms, and legs with full dedication. But if your neck stays thin, your physique never looks complete. A thick neck adds presence. It gives your body structure and makes you look stronger even when you're standing still. The reason the neck makes such a huge visual difference is because it sits right at the center of your frame. It connects your head to your torso, so its size affects how wide your shoulders appear and how balanced your upper body looks. A thin neck makes even a muscular body look narrow and fragile. A thicker neck makes the same body look solid, athletic, and confident. This is why fighters, wrestlers, and rugby players often look intimidating even without massive arms. Most people never train their neck because they assume it grows automatically from other exercises. The truth is, it doesn't. The neck barely gets challenged in daily life or standard gym workouts. Bench presses, rows, and shoulder presses don't stimulate it enough to grow. If you don't train it directly, it stays underdeveloped. Over time, this leads to poor posture, forward head position, and that stiff, tight feeling many people wake up with every morning. A weak neck doesn't just affect how you look, it affects how you feel. Chronic stiffness, recurring headaches, and upper back discomfort are often connected to weak or imbalanced neck muscles. Your neck is literally responsible for holding up your head all day. When it's weak, other muscles are forced to compensate, which leads to tension and pain. Strengthening the neck improves stability and often fixes posture issues without you consciously trying to stand straight. For athletes, neck strength is even more important. In sports like boxing, martial arts, football, or rugby, a strong neck helps stabilize the head during impact. It reduces unnecessary movement and lowers injury risk. Even if you're not an athlete, better neck strength improves overall control, balance, and confidence in how you carry yourself. One of the biggest advantages of neck training is how quickly it responds. Because it's rarely trained, even small amounts of direct work can lead to visible changes in a short period of time. This is one of the rare muscle groups where you can actually see progress within a few months if you train it properly and consistently. That said, neck training needs to be done intelligently. The neck contains many small muscles and sensitive structures, so jumping straight into heavy movements without preparation is a bad idea. A proper warm-up is essential. Gentle nods, slow rotations, and side bends for a minute or two increase blood flow and prepare the muscles. Skipping this step is one of the fastest ways to strain your neck or feel dizzy during training. Effective neck training focuses on controlled movement in multiple directions. Forward bending builds the muscles on the front of the neck, which adds visible thickness and structure. Backward bending strengthens the muscles that support posture and head stability. Side bending and rotation help balance the neck so it grows evenly and stays functional. The goal isn't to move heavy weight, but to move slowly, with control, through a full range of motion. A common mistake people make is trying to rush neck growth or using risky exercises. Certain movements can build strength, but over time, they can put unnecessary stress on the spine if done incorrectly or too frequently. Smart neck training is about consistency, control, and gradual progression, not ego lifting. Neck training doesn't need to dominate your workout routine. For most people, 1 to 2 sessions per week are more than enough to see results. As your neck adapts and recovery improves, frequency can be increased gradually. Just like any other muscle group, progression should be slow and controlled. Add a few reps, slow down the tempo, or increase resistance slightly over time. When trained correctly, the neck doesn't just grow in size, it becomes stronger, more stable, and more resilient. Your posture improves. Stiffness decreases. Your entire upper body starts to look more complete and powerful. This is why the neck is one of the most underrated but high-impact muscles you can train. A strong neck changes how your physique is perceived. It adds balance, structure, and presence. When the neck is trained properly, the body stops looking unfinished. It looks intentional. And that's one of the simplest upgrades most people are missing in their training. Now let's talk about how to actually build it, safely, intelligently, and without destroying your spine. Because neck training done wrong is risky, but done right is one of the fastest upgrades you can make. Before we even touch exercises, there's one rule you need to understand. Your neck is not like your biceps or chest. It's smaller, more sensitive, and closely connected to your nervous system. That means ego lifting here is not just useless, it's dangerous. Progress comes from control, not weight. The first thing you need to master is warming up. Skipping this step is how people end up with strains, dizziness, or stiffness that lasts for days. Spend 1 to 2 minutes doing gentle nods, slow rotations, and side bends. You're not stretching aggressively, you're just waking the muscles up and getting blood flowing. This one habit alone will make neck training feel smoother and safer. Now let's talk about the movement patterns that actually build the neck. The neck isn't just meant to hold your head in one position. It bends forward, backward, and to the sides, and it rotates. If you want a neck that's not just bigger but balanced and strong, you need to train all of these functions. Forward flexion is what builds the visible thickness on the front of your neck. This movement targets the muscles that run from your jaw down toward your collarbone. When these muscles grow, your entire frame looks stronger. Start with body weight and focus on slow, controlled reps. Once the movement feels solid, light resistance can be added gradually. Backward extension strengthens the muscles that support posture and keep your head stable. These muscles work quietly all day, but they're often weak because we spend hours looking down at phones and screens. Training this movement helps pull your head back into a healthier position and reduces upper back tension over time. Side bending and rotation are usually skipped, but they're critical. These movements create balance and prevent imbalances that can lead to stiffness or discomfort. A neck that's strong only in one direction is a neck that's more likely to get injured. Controlled side-to-side work builds thickness and stability that you can feel in daily life. One mistake many people make is training the neck like a powerlifting movement: heavy weight, short reps, and jerky motion. That's not how the neck grows best. The neck responds better to moderate reps, slow tempo, and full control. If the movement isn't smooth, the weight is too heavy. Frequency matters too. For most people, training the neck 1 to 2 times per week is enough to see progress. More is not always better. The neck recovers differently from larger muscles, and overtraining it can lead to stiffness or headaches. If recovery feels good and soreness is minimal, frequency can be increased carefully. Progression should be subtle. Add a few reps, slow down the tempo, or slightly increase resistance over time. The goal is to challenge the neck just a little more each week, not to shock it. Consistency beats intensity every time here. As your neck gets stronger, you'll notice changes beyond size. Your posture improves without effort. Your head feels more stable. That constant tightness many people live with starts to fade. And visually, your physique looks more complete and athletic. The neck is one of the few muscle groups that gives you fast returns if you train it properly. It doesn't require fancy equipment or complicated routines. It requires patience, control, and respect for the movement. If you skipped neck training before, that's fine. Most people do. But once you start training it correctly, it quickly becomes one of those muscles you wonder how you ever ignored.